G'day viewers, Retro Man here and welcome to the 80s Show. Now today I'm going back into comedy mode to reflect on one of the biggest comedy franchises of the 80s. In particular, I will be looking at it from a unique perspective. I will be taking a look at the character Mahoney, played by Steve Guttenberg. I mean, he really is an iconic character in this franchise, and guys, he wasn't the original choice though. I mean, he wound up in the role, and I mean, would we want it any other way? But there was a lot of actors out there that were considered. Some of them auditioned. So today we're going to take a look at the casting of Mahoney in the Police Academy franchise. So I'll start by saying, guys, that there was an actor out there who was really funny, and the producers wanted to put him in the film. And guys, he later went on to play Batman, but in the early 80s, you know, he was really funny. And I mean, he made a movie that was a bit of a blockbuster. It was in fact, you know, a John Hughes written film, and it was called Mr. Mom. The actor, of course, is Michael Keaton, and Michael Keaton was actually offered the role of Mahoney, believe it or not, and Michael Keaton knocked that back. He was committed actually to doing Johnny Dangerously, from what I've heard, which was a crime comedy that featured Keaton and Joe Piscopo. So Keaton went off and did that film, and he passed up Police Academy. I mean, he didn't know that was going to become a franchise, but Keaton would have been pretty funny in it, of course. I mean, he knows how to deliver a one-liner. But guys, there was just so many actors that auditioned for this. I've heard that Bruce Willis in those early years auditioned, but they knocked him back. And I've even heard that Judge Reinhold, who also in the same year that Police Academy broke in 84, I mean, he got a role in Beverly Hills Cop playing Rosewood. I mean, he did very well with that. So I mean, it's no big shakes that Reinhold missed out on Police Academy. But guys, really, it came down to about a trio of actors from what I've heard. I mean, Steve Guttenberg was one of them. He walked away with the Mahoney role, but the other two guys were quite interesting as well. And I'll just throw out this big name, guys. He was an Oscar winner later on down the track, and we're talking about Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks could have played Mahoney, but they were a little bit iffy. They kind of looked at Tom Hanks and they looked at Steve Guttenberg and they went, hang on a minute, who's more masculine? And the casting agents felt that Steve Guttenberg was much more masculine than Tom Hanks. And they kind of went, well, who's going to appeal to the ladies? And they felt that Guttenberg was going to be a fan favourite with the females. So they kind of passed on Tom Hanks, but he did very good for himself. I mean, in that year of 84, when Police Academy broke, Tom Hanks came out with this little film called Splash, about a guy that falls in love with a mermaid, and that was directed by Ron Howard. It also featured the late great John Candy, and Splash was a wonderful film. I mean, I really like the fantasy romance elements in that one. So Tom Hanks was okay. I mean, he became a megastar and an Oscar winner. You know, he did great in his own right. So Guttenberg was well cast, but there was this other guy right on the cusp there. I mean, he almost got the role from Guttenberg. And you may or may not know this guy. I mean, he was never a big name, but he did star in a big movie in the early 80s. And guys, it was a werewolf film. That's right, An American Werewolf in London. The star of that film, David Norton, almost clenched the role of Mahoney. So guys, I think it came down to Guttenberg and Norton. They were both auditioning or doing screen tests, call it what you will, and they were really looking closely at them, and they just went, in the end, we're going to go with Guttenberg because they felt that he was just a little bit funnier. So guys, Goots got it over Norton, and Norton back in 1984, he went on to star in Hot Dog the Movie, that really wild and crazy film on those ski slopes. So he did okay as well. But Steve Guttenberg was just great as Mahoney. I think he really sold that role so well, and it's one of those roles really where I can't imagine anyone else in there now. I think Steve Guttenberg just really encapsulates everything that Mahoney needed to be. So kudos to those casting guys. I mean, I love Michael Keaton and Tom Hanks. I think they would have worked as well. But Guttenberg nailed it. He really was, the perfect Mahoney. And guys, that concludes our little casting discussion on Police Academy. So guys, tell me what you think in the comments below. Did they get it right? Was Goots the man? And tell me what you think of the other guys that were on the fringes. I mean, I've also heard that Billy Crystal and Robin Williams, they were thinking about them at one point. And I've even heard Jerry Seinfeld. So guys, I mean, wow. But, someone's even thrown in Bill Murray at one point. I mean, I've heard over the years the name Bill Murray thrown in. I'm not so sure about Bill Murray. I mean, he was doing a lot of stuff at that point. I don't think he was really needed for Police Academy. But, guys, he did stripes, from the army to the police force. Who knows? He would have been a great choice. But, guys, tell me in the comments below who you think would have been a good Mahoney, if Guttenberg wasn't on the scene. I mean, how can you replace him? But anyway, guys, tell me all of that in the comments below. Share your thoughts and feelings, and you will see Retro Man very soon. So, guys, keep watching The 80s Show. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps. And I will be back with some more videos very soon. But until then, this is Retro Man, living the dream. 80s style. Stay gold.
Thanks for watching. Retro Man will return faster than a boomerang and just as cheerful as Mahoney. Please subscribe and good night, viewers.